Welcome to Murder with the Missus. I'm Darren.
And I'm Amy. And today we're going to tell you about Olivia Flores.
Don't forget to check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Podbean, and Facebook. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you get the new episodes whenever they drop. And tell your friends as always.
This is a very current case. We were just talking about it. Usually we don't jump in so quickly, but there's been charges, so I wanted to do a quick episode to keep everyone up to date, and we can follow it together. And also, if you haven't heard her name, now you have. And here's what happened. 18-year-old Olivia was born a cheerleader. She was co-captain at her high school, and news reports say that she had been captain of both the football and basketball cheer teams. She was a flyer who had been cheering since third grade. She made a Facebook post to say that she was sad that her 13-year cheerleading streak was ending, and ended the post saying, "Captain Liv, signing off." Thought that was cute. She won so many cheerleading events, including a toe touch competition. She was a 2-time state cheer champ, and she lettered over 10 times on the cheer team. I meant that she was born to do it, y'all. Her obituary goes on to say that she would work endlessly at different stunts to prove it could be done, and then help show and teach others that they could do it too. That sounds like a leader to me. She enjoyed life, family and friends, going out to eat, her Stanley mug, and musicals. It sounds like she was a ball of energy because she would dance and sing along to musicals when watching them with her dad. And it's been said that she had a beautiful voice. It says that he would come down every night to tell her goodnight, and if he didn't, she would yell up the stairs, "Are you coming down?" And that's Captain Liv coming out. So if you have a routine, you keep it. Friends' posts show that she had a sweet soul. She made people laugh and was a strong young woman. Family said one word to describe her was fierce. She was very excited to graduate high school on June 6th of this year and then go out and take on the world. She was planning a gap year to work and save money to travel. Her Uncle John gifted her a trip to Washington, D.C. for this summer because she loved history. But she was also planning a trip to the West Coast to see the ocean with friends.
And sadly, all of this would be taken from her.
Yes, very sadly. According to the complaint filed July 9th, on May 18th of 2024, Shane Elroy Roper with the Minnesota State Patrol was on patrol in southeast Minnesota, specifically near Olmsted County. At 5:41 p.m., his car is parked facing southbound on the 6th Street Southwest entrance ramp to Highway 52. He had a ride along that day, so he had a 20-year-old person with him. He was outside of his squad car conducting traffic enforcement when he saw someone commit a petty traffic offense. And I picture a Dukes of Hazzard style hood slide because he seems the type. That's not actually in the complaint. That's just my opinion. Mind you, that it says this was a petty traffic offense. So tell me why he accelerated to 98 miles per hour going southbound on Highway 52. It says he did slow for traffic as he exited on 12th Street Southwest to head eastbound, then turned his lights off. Yes, off, before accelerating with a fully engaged throttle. In less than a quarter mile, his car reached 83 miles per hour on a road with a 40 mile per hour speed limit. He was quickly coming up on the intersection of Apache Drive Southwest, which is also the intersection of Memorial Parkway Southwest to the north. It is noted that Apache Drive Southwest is one of the main entry points to the mall area.
This area has quite a bit of traffic during the late afternoon, early evenings hours on a typical Saturday.
Yeah, it's a mall.
But what I don't get is why did he turn his lights off?
Well, as you'll see as we go through this story, he has a history of this. I don't understand it either.
Because, I mean, if you're in pursuit,
right?
Every cop, when
right.
you're in pursuit, I mean, you know what? I see it all the time anyway, because I see cops just flying down the highway
yes.
and everything else, you know, and then their excuse was, well, I was on a call. If you're on a call, turn your damn lights on.
That's the point of the wee-woos.
Exactly. Hell, I got pulled over the other day because I couldn't get over, right. And they was going to write me a ticket for not failing to yield a emergency vehicle. I slowed way the hell down.
Yes.
And I saw his lights on. There was no car in front of him, no car behind him, no car beside him. There was nothing going on.
Just his car.
He was just sitting on the side of the highway, or on the, not even a highway, on a main street, and just had his lights on. But I couldn't get over because the guy, the people in the lane next to me were just going right on by me. They wouldn't let me get over. So I just slowed down to a crawl and then got over as far as I could to where it was safe for him. And then he whips out there, pulls me over.
Yeah.
And then tries to write me a ticket for failure to.
For those who don't know, in Oklahoma, it is a law that if you can, and there's a emergency vehicle on the right side of shoulder, you are to get into the left lane for safety purposes. That's what he's talking about. He was not able to get into the left lane because of traffic. So he just slowed down, because what else are you supposed to do?
Yeah,
stop in the middle of the highway?
Yeah, and I was like, what do you want me to do? Slam on my fucking brakes? Do you want me to just veer into traffic and hope for the best?
Yeah.
And anyway, he ended up writing me a warning because he realized it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to go off subject.
No, I'm just saying, but either way, he was an emergency vehicle with his lights on, so all of a sudden you're at fault.
Yeah, but
Even though he wasn't in pursuit, he didn't have a vehicle, but it was a safety thing. But
we see them all the time where they're just flying down the time. Regular roads, highways, everything, and they don't have one light on, nothing. They're just going.
Yeah, we had neighbors several years ago that had their car brought back on a tow truck, and we were like, what in the world happened to your car? And they had been T-boned by a cop with no lights on going through an intersection. Yeah. So it happens more often than it should.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing this story, because it got us riled up.
Yeah.
Now, the complaint also notes that going east on 12th Street Southwest from the Highway 52 ramp passes over the highway, and it limits the distance that westbound vehicles can see oncoming traffic. So you have a high traffic area with limited visibility. So you really need to be paying attention when you're driving here. The dash cam in Roper's car shows that the eastbound traffic had a green light. A big SUV, also going eastbound on 12th Street Southwest, got into the left turn lane to go north on Memorial Parkway Southwest. So this SUV partially obstructed the view of that lane for vehicles that were turning south on Apache Drive Southwest. A Ford Focus with 3 occupants was in that lane and attempting to drive through the intersection. Now, all of this is going on in this intersection when Trooper Roper came barreling in doing 83 miles per hour, full throttle, remember? And he was full throttle up until 1.4 seconds before impact, a second and a half. I'm assuming that he slammed on his brakes literally at the last second, because he was at 55 miles per hour when he hit the passenger side of the Ford Focus. The impact sent both vehicles through the intersection, and they collided with a Toyota RAV4, which had 2 occupants. The driver of the Focus said the trooper's speed was like a rocket. Other witnesses described it as flying, in the blink of an eye, and hauling ass.
Not one of the witnesses saw emergency lights or heard sirens.
Right, because remember, we know now he did not have on lights or sirens.
So what was he chasing?
A vehicle that had a Mini. A vehicle. No, stop it. Harry Potter. No, it was a vehicle who had committed a petty traffic offense. They didn't say what it is yet, because this is very new, but yeah, I haven't heard what happened. But
what did he pill out?
I have no idea, because he saw it. If you remember, he wasn't even inside of his car when he saw this offense take place. So he literally jumped in his car and took off after this person.
Turned without a signal.
No, maybe. He may have. That's what I was thinking. No turn signal or no seat belt.
Something dumb.
I don't know what.
I couldn't have seen that sitting outside.
If you're standing outside watching somebody turn, you can definitely see if they're wearing a seatbelt or not.
Not if they're far enough away.
If they're that far away, that's true. He did accelerate very quickly.
Yeah. Because, at this point, he should have already caught up.
Yeah, they never said where the other car went.
Yeah, because, if he was at 98 miles an hour and then at 83 miles per hour, at this point, where's the other car?
Yeah.
Why hasn't he caught up to this person yet?
I don't know.
Okay.
He literally came out of nowhere. The rear passenger in the Ford Focus was 18-year-old cheerleading captain Olivia Flores, just 3 weeks before her graduation. While everyone was injured, how could they not be in this situation? Olivia was the worst. She was sadly taken off of life support and passed away on Sunday, May 19th, the very next day. The driver of the Focus had a liver laceration, a bruised kidney, and numerous minor injuries. The front passenger in the Focus had a broken pelvis, lacerated kidney, and numerous minor injuries. The 2 people in the RAV4 suffered physical pain. The 20-year-old ride-along had rib bruising and multiple fractures. And I will say that Trooper Roper had minor injuries. That's all they said. Trooper Roper gave his statement to law enforcement several weeks after the incident, where he said this was not an active pursuit. He was not watching his speed. He said he was trying to close the gap between his car and the vehicle that he, quote, suspected of being in violation of the traffic code. Suspected. He believes his lights were on and that he attempted to clear the intersection prior to entering it. It doesn't specify how, but I would really like to know how he tried to clear the intersection with no lights or sirens. Tell me how he tried to warn people in enough time to move out of danger when he was barreling in like a rocket.
He didn't.
He didn't.
He couldn't have. There's no way.
There's no way. He was like, oh, I tried to clear it.
I mean, because they can't yield to something they can't hear or see.
And with him coming in at 83 miles an hour, if you're sitting still or barely moving, that is super fast. Like, you don't have time to react.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's what I'm saying. You can't yield to something you can't hear or see.
What, did he honk his horn? You know what would work really good?
That's why they put sirens on there.
The wee-woos, I'm telling you. And he didn't even try to slow down until 1.4 seconds before the impact. So how the fuck does he warn people in that 1.5 seconds? Because he didn't even realize there was an issue until 1 second before it happened. So that's another problem with his story. Law enforcement pulled his records and saw that in the 3 hours leading up to the collision that day, there were numerous occasions where he accelerated to over 99 miles per hour when initiating traffic stops for petty traffic offenses. There was what they call a consistent pattern of him not turning his lights on at all during these times or turning them off while he was hitting these high speeds. In one instance, he reached 135 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone on a medical assistance call. He told his ride-along that medical would probably not be needed, but this type of driving was normal for him. Normal for him. 135 miles per hour in a 55 with no lights and no sirens.
Yeah.
That's his normal.
So the whole day?
This was
the whole day
the
he'd
whole
been
day.
doing this? Was that ride along with him the whole day?
Yes.
Oh, man, he's screwed.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, during a deep dive into his history, they found out that he had 4 prior incidents on his disciplinary records. Let's talk about that. February 2019, Roper crashed into another state vehicle, injuring the driver. He got a reprimand letter in punishment for that. In May of 2021, Roper didn't stop at a stop sign when he was turning left in an intersection. He said he didn't see the stop sign. And this time, he hit a civilian and was not on call for service or pursuing a traffic violator at the time. He got an 8-hour suspension for that one, meaning he lost 8 hours of vacation time. December of 2021, he was assisting the Dodge County Sheriff's Office when he hit a deer with his squad car. Now, the roads had snow and ice packed on them, from what the report says, and he was doing 77 in a 55. He did not have lights or sirens on. He did not report the incident.
He was doing 77
Mm-hmm.
in snow and ice.
Yep, he did. And he hit a deer, and he didn't report it.
Hell, at 55
Dangerous.
in snow and ice, and it's hard to miss a deer. Hell, even if there wasn't snow and ice at 55, if a deer runs out in front, it's hard to miss it.
Exactly. But he couldn't report that he had hit that deer because then he would have had to admit that he was going too fast with no lights or sirens on and was not paying attention. That's reckless driving at that point, because snow and ice, no.
And all these times that he's been wrote up, suspended, or not even suspended,
well,
taking away his vacation time. Basically, it's just been a slap on the wrist for this guy.
Every time, because
every damn time.
In the deer incident, he also just got a reprimand letter. Yeah. Now, in April of 2023, he was pursuing a speeding vehicle. So this time, he would definitely have his lights and sirens on, right? Wrong. No lights, no sirens. And when he went over 90 miles an hour, his dash cam was automatically activated, showing that he cut across all lanes of traffic. He chased the vehicle onto an exit ramp at 16th Street and lost control of his car, hitting a cable median divider. He got 8 hours of unpaid suspension. And now we're here at this tragedy.
So no one was checking his record when he had these accidents, and to see the pattern, or were they checking and
then ignoring it,
and then just ignoring it?
I think they were ignoring it. How could you not?
I mean, this guy is ruined how many, too many state vehicles.
Exactly. You got to think, we're paying for these vehicles. This is coming out of their budget.
I mean, taxpayer vehicles.
Yeah, and I don't want to pull the I pay your salary card.
I don't pay a salary. I don't give a shit. But you're here to freaking uphold the law.
Well, that's taking money away from other stuff, too.
You're here, it gives you a job.
It does.
And basically, that's taking advantage of that job and everything, saying that I can do what I want.
He's one of those that have, like, they call it the godlike complex.
Oh, I know. I see it all the time. You get a badge, you get a big fucking head.
Oh, yeah. And then you think you can do whatever you want.
And you can't.
No. And somebody is supposed to be regulating this. Somebody is supposed to be watching this. Who's watching him?
Exactly.
Or who's ignoring him?
I mean, you think, that's the whole thing. They get in there and they think that they're untouchable.
Yeah, that's exactly what this looks like to me. Because
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh.
I mean, why? Why would they let that go on for that long?
That's what I don't understand.
That is so ridiculous.
He's obviously an issue. Obviously, he's got a problem. And even with their letters and they're taking his vacay, poor guy, he still learned nothing. He kept going and he kept doing it. Get worse and worse.
Well, yeah,
worse.
because they basically were saying I'm untouchable.
Yeah, they're like, we're not going to do anything, so just continue doing what you want.
I wonder if he had like some like somebody on the inside, you know what I mean? Like
it'll probably come out.
Up.
It'll probably come out.
Like a family member in the mayor's office or something, just, that pulling strings.
Right? That, or maybe he's a legacy where his dad was a cop or his grandpa was a cop or something.
Well, if he was, and buddy, I hate to say it, but you failed your father and grandfather's legacy.
Very true. But these are all good questions that I hope they really look into. And the complaint says that Roper's driving conduct on May 18th, including the high rate of speed, failure to verify the intersection was safe for passage, and failure to use lights or a siren to alert other drivers on the roadway of his presence, was grossly negligent and reckless in nature. This conduct disregarded the safety and lives of other individuals on or near the roadway. Roper's driving conduct ultimately caused the collision and resulting death and injuries to the victims. So it shows 9 counts have been brought against Trooper Roper, 5 felonies and 4 misdemeanors, second-degree manslaughter, criminal vehicular homicide, 5 counts of criminal vehicular operation, substantial bodily harm, reckless driving, and careless driving. So this is another thing I like to see, because finally someone has stepped in and hopefully will hold him accountable for his dumbassery. Are you awake?
I'm awake. I'm just trying to bring it all in. I mean, because cases, charges like this and everything, that would get a normal person. They'd be put under the jail.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what kind of time he's looking at.
And this is why I want to watch it. This is why I wanted to bring this out in case people haven't heard of her name or heard of this case. I wanted to make sure that people have, because
I bet he'll get like what is it called? Deferred.
Better not. No. Her family is pissed, understandably. They're heartbroken, but they're also angry.
Yeah, something's got to be going on, because there's no way that they would let this go on for this long and let him continue for that long. Because, I mean, if this was an actual cop that was a police officer that was there for the actual job and he bumped into somebody, I mean, they would get treated way worse than this guy has been.
Oh, yeah. 100%. And he's a state trooper. So.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah. So I just wanted to remind everybody he is a trooper.
That does explain a lot.
Not saying anything bad about our state troopers. But,
well, the state that was who pulled me over was a state trooper.
Exactly.
I wouldn't yield to him on Main Street when he wasn't even on a fucking highway. But anyway, I digress.
We got a lot of troopers around here too that seem to have a lot of or highway patrol.
They're like, well, it's a road.
Yeah, but we have a lot of like the highway patrol and all them. They seem to be involved in a lot of things they're not really, I wouldn't think, technically supposed to be involved in. So it's kind of weird that they are. We see corruption there a lot. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. I mean, one of these days we'll touch base on a few of them.
I get texts and stuff all the time of, hey, you want to talk about this? Look at this. And I'm like, ugh.
I mean, there's cases on one of them that we could do a freaking 3-part,
multi-parter,
4-part, 10-part fucking podcast on.
Yeah.
And he's still a highway patrol.
Still running around doing the most. Nobody notices the pattern though, except, well, no, I'm sure they notice it. It's just another one of those cases where they ignore it. Cases like this are rough all the way around. And then you find out that it could have been prevented, that it was caused by someone who's supposed to be there to protect us. I mean, it just adds to tragedy. And he obviously learned nothing, like we said, in his prior accident. He did nothing to prevent another one. Now, he did have training, and he even completed an emergency vehicle operation and police pursuits course in 2015. So he can't claim stupidity. It's cockiness, arrogance, disregard for others' lives, unchecked, reckless behavior.
But not lack of training.
But not a lack of training.
Well, sounds like he might have skipped a few of those days, or maybe sat in the back and slept.
I'm sure he's playing like Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Was that a thing in 2015? That's what I was thinking.
Actually, it was.
Yes. Nailed it.
I think it was.
Well,
yeah, it was.
We're going to say it was for my mental health. Yay. Now, the graduating class of 2024 were missing 2 of their own. Another student, Dylan, had passed away in 2021, and now Olivia. And they wanted to leave 2 empty seats at the ceremony for their friends, which is cool. Our son graduated in 2019, and they left a seat open for a teacher who had passed, a teacher that we had when we were in school. And it's a classy, respectful way to honor those who couldn't be there. But Olivia's school said no for whatever reason, so they had to start a petition, and it got quite a few signatures. So then the school allowed it.
How would you not allow that?
I didn't understand it either.
She was a cheer captain.
Yes.
She was all about the
school. Yeah. Actually, yeah.
How could you not? How could you deny them that?
I think they said something about it not being in their protocol or not being in their...
Fuck your protocol.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about 2 empty chairs.
2 chairs.
What does that hurt?
It does not.
I mean, what does that hurt the school?
It does not.
All it does is pay respects to the family.
100%.
That's it.
100%.
Yeah, fuck them.
Because if I'm not mistaken, when they did the teacher one at Bubba's graduation, I'm pretty sure that there were students that were, you hand out a rose. I don't know if they do that here, but in Oklahoma, you give a rose to someone who means something to you, helped you along your way, blah, blah, blah. And people were leaving roses in her seat because she helped so many people. And it's respectful, like he said. It's just a classy, respectful way.
Yeah.
It's to honor them. And
it's just to say, hey, we remember.
Yeah. They all wore bracelets for her. I mean, okay. It's a thing. Let them have their thing. It doesn't hurt anybody, like you said. So they did finally allow it. And in Olivia's seat was a framed picture of her with her tassel hanging from the corner of the frame and a little blue bow up on top of the seat. And her parents got her diploma for her. And they have a GoFundMe, remembering Olivia, help the Flores family. So check that out if you're wanting to donate. According to KTTC News, the Flores family has called on Department of Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson and Governor Tim Walz to commence an open and independent investigation of the organizational failures that led to Trooper Roper taking Olivia Flores' life and seriously injuring the other victims in this crash to avoid such a senseless and preventable tragedy in the future. And I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Because as of today that we are recording this, which is July 14th, he is on paid leave.
You got to be kidding me.
No. He is still on paid leave, and he goes to court August 29th. So he's still got another month and a half or so before he even goes to court.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, that's our system for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do something bad, you still get paid for it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Gross abuse of power.
Yeah. You'll probably go to prison, still get paid for it.
He'll probably still be on paid leave in jail.
Yeah. You'll be like, well, I had vacation time.
Because this is the system failure that they're talking about.
Good Lord.
Well,
that's just sad.
Yeah. And that's where we are. So definitely, guys, let's watch it together.
Yeah.
Let's stay up to date.
Yeah, that one right there was, that was sucky because that right there was just bad.
Bad.
Police, everything.
Bad. I know we talked a lot of shit on him, but please also remember that this family lost this poor girl for nothing.
Yeah.
It could have been prevented, and that really
exactly
hurts.
It could have been prevented.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, thanks for listening. That was the end of that one. Catch us on the next one.
Bye.
Tell your friends.
Oh, bye.
Bye.